is News 3 Now at 10.
And thanks for joining us. Tomorrow, the community and family will say goodbye to 11-year-old Anissa Scott, the young girl killed in a shooting last week. That event will also celebrate her life and call for unity.
3 teens have been arrested for her death. Amanda Quintana joins us with details of tomorrow's event. Amanda?
It's been a long and difficult week for Anissa's family, the community, and the police officers who have been searching for the people responsible for her death. Tomorrow is all about a celebration of her life and for the community to come together.
My grandbaby! We'll take her wings!
On Saturday, Madison will come together to march, a send-off to Anissa Scott just over a week after she was taken off of life support.
She will continue to live through all of us.
I just want to go outside and play, like a 7-year-old's supposed to do. I don't want to die.
Earlier this week, the world began to hear Anissa's heartbreaking prayers from 4 years ago.
God, can you please heal our city?
The same thing she was praying about. And I told her that wouldn't happen to her because of where she lived, happened to her where she lived.
As the 3 teens accused of being involved in her death await trial.
To the folks who are out there pulling these triggers, we have to reach out to these young people. This should not have ever happened.
The community prepares Bree Stevens for a unique funeral. Anissa's body, led by a motorcycle club, a red monster truck will carry her casket.
Sweet, sweet baby.
That march will begin tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. at the Capitol. People will march then to Bree Stevens Field. That's where her funeral will begin at noon, and that is a private funeral inside of Bree Stevens, but it will be streamed online, and you can see it from outside the stadium. And then right after that, there will be a public viewing.
Amanda Quintana reporting live tonight. Amanda, thank you.
In our other top story tonight, 2 men are recovering in the hospital following a shooting on Madison's east side. Today's violence hit too close to home for both police and neighbors alike. Adam Duxter explains why.
Paul Villanueva and his family were relaxing in their east side home today when they say in just a moment, chaos struck as an SUV went into their bedroom basement window. It's the latest in a string of gun violence that has both Villanueva and local police saying enough is enough.
This store camera video shows the moment an SUV and a smaller car went around the corner of Oak and Commercial Ave earlier today. Seconds later, gunshots, and then a crash.
The truck came here, went through here, and you can see my bedroom.
Paul Villanueva could not believe it as the SUV with 3 men inside crashed mere feet from his bed and young child.
First, I thought it was a bunch of gunshots. So what I did is I obviously dove towards my son to make sure he's protected because I don't know what it is.
That same door camera then shows 3 men, 2 of them wounded, sprinting away from the scene. For Paul's 14-year-old daughter, Kyla, it's a scene all too familiar.
I always hear gunshots around here, so I wasn't really scared or anything, but yeah, the car crash definitely concerned me.
But for a kid to be, used to a gunshot, that shouldn't be the world we live in and grow up at. You know what I mean? That's pretty sad for her to say, I'm used to the gunshot. I mean, we're not in a war zone.
Police say this weekday broad daylight shooting put everyone at risk.
There's a park around the corner. I mean, just look at, I see 3 bikes right here. There's going across East Wash. There's no school. Very easily, this could have been you or I, someone we know.
And tonight,
that's when I heard the gunshot. That's when I dove up here.
While the Villanueva family picks up the pieces, police say this trend of gun violence is moving farther from being an exception and more towards the norm with each act of violence.
It's dangerous. I tell my friends and family, I'll be flat out, and I'm supposed to give an opinion. It is dangerous. I drive, even as a cop, when I drive in Madison, where I am a lot, my head is on a swivel because there's so much gunfire, and there hasn't been as much accountability the last couple months.
Villanueva himself is a Navy veteran of more than 2 decades, and he says of all the places he's lived in the country, he had considered Madison to be one of the safest. Although after this summer, he says that's something he's starting to reconsider. On Madison's east side, Adam Duxter, News 3 Now.
Police say they are still looking for the dark-colored sedan they believe to be responsible for today's shooting. Anyone with information is asked to call Madison area Crime Stoppers. Let's get a look at our first Warren forecast now. Here's meteorologist Chris Reese.
Yeah, Charlotte, it was a beautiful day here throughout south central Wisconsin. Temperatures, though, were well above where they typically are at this time of the year. 73 is where we stand now that the sun is set and we're starting to cool off. Winds are still out of the south at 5 miles per hour. That will keep us warm as we move through the overnight hours. 68 in Janesville right now. Monroe coming in at 70. La Crosse is still at 78 degrees. You get a lot of sandy soils once you work your way over towards the bluffs of La Crosse, and it keeps things a little bit warmer there. Dew points have increased into the 60s as well. So now we're at the point that you're going to need a little bit of hairspray if you're going out this weekend, just because things are going to get sticky. That frizz factor is going to be on the rise. But as we go through the rest of tonight, look for skies staying on the clear side for us. Overnight lows will continue to drop down into the 60s. Coming up, though, we're talking about a big heat increase towards the weekend and early next week. Just how warm we get, I'll have coming up closer to 10:15.
Chris, thank you. To our coronavirus headlines, Wisconsin health officials confirmed nearly 720 new cases in the past day. That's more than 100 fewer than yesterday's case count of 851. In total, there have been more than 69,000 confirmed cases, about 12% of which are still active. Now, the positivity rate in the past day, 7.8%, an increase of 0.3 of a point since yesterday. The 7-day average still sits at 8%. 2 more people have died, bringing the statewide death toll now to 1,076. All Dane County students, grades 3 through 12, will be required to start the school year virtually. An emergency order issued by Public Health Madison Dane County says kindergarten through 2nd grade can have that in-person instruction with special precautions in place. In order to restart in-person classes for older grade levels, PHMDC says the county must see a 14-day average of 39 cases per day for 4 consecutive weeks.
Postmaster General Louis DeJoy says the Postal Service is fully prepared to handle delivery of election mail this year. It comes amid criticism over policy changes and concerns that President Trump is trying to undermine mail-in voting.
As we head into the election season, I want to assure this committee and the American public that the Postal Service is fully capable and committed to delivering the nation's election mail securely and on time. This sacred duty is my #1 priority between now and Election Day.
The NAACP is suing DeJoy in an effort to reverse Postal Service changes that have already caused delays in mail delivery. USPS is launching a new website to help voters track their election mail. The website is usps.com/votinginfo. The website will provide links to federal election and state-specific resources. It can also connect local election officials to Postal Service personnel to assist in mailing ballots. The USPS is unveiling new forever stamps with a simple yet important message. The stamps have the words "Thank you" highlighted in gold foil. Their background features 4 different fall colors. Officials say the stamp highlights the kindness Americans should be thankful for during this trying year.
Still ahead on News 3 Now at 10 after a week where Wisconsin was at the center of the political world. Our Amy Reed fact checks all of the politicians in a News 3 Now reality check after a short break.
Gobin Cars grand opening sale, beautiful Middleton. 2017 Nissan Sentras, Hyundai Elantras for only $79.95 or $129 per month.
That's right. Buy 2017 Nissan Sentras and Hyundai Elantras for only $79.95 or $129 per month.
Gobin Cars is selling 2018 Kia Fortes for only $89.95 or $149 per month.
Hurry in today and just ask for my dad, Don the Dealman Gobin.
Or my daughter, Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
Dreaming of custom furniture, but you think high prices, sales pressure, and waiting for months and months? Come to Slumberland and design your way. Quick and easy, with no extra cost. First, pick your piece. Lots of styles, clearly marked. Next, pick your fabric. There's no extra charge here. Then, get it quick. Our orders are made fast. Plus, all custom furniture is on sale. Design your way, only at Slumberland Furniture.
It's no secret, Robertson is Wisconsin's aesthetic leader. But with results this natural, patients can keep it a secret if they want. Our secret to reducing stubborn body fat? Cool Sculpting. Book a free consultation to learn how Cool Sculpting is different at Robertson.
We will never let socialism destroy American healthcare.
Really? President Trump's new executive order is every socialist dream come true. Trump will make it possible to change policies according to European countries that he deemed socialist, stifling the fight against COVID-19, increasing wait times, and rationing care for our seniors. Democrats won't need to socialize medicine because Trump is doing it for them. Paid for by Americans for Limited Government.
In these trying times, we're here for dads. Hy-Vee Aisles Online has more pickup and delivery times that fit your schedule, so you have more time to be the chef, plumber, coach, barber, driving instructor, night manager, storyteller, and, depending on how back-to-school time goes, teacher. With all the roles you play, it's time to let us be your grocery shopper, so you can have more time for work time, school time, playtime, dinner time, and me time. Hy-Vee Aisles Online. We're here for dads.
I love to equal the playing field. I love to help people and allow them to feel like they are powerful instead of powerless. We're with our clients every step of the way.
Gingras, Thompson, and Walks.
Saturdays just aren't the same without the market on the square, but this morning we're hearing tips and tricks from one of Dane County's biggest draws, Stella's. When to go, what to buy, we're breaking it all down Saturday morning at 5 and 8.
Sponsored by Clean Lakes Alliance's Lake Forecast Monitoring app.
President Trump and his family celebrated the life of his brother, Robert Trump, during a private service at the White House this afternoon. In a tweet tonight, the president said, quote, "Robert, I love you. Rest in peace." The businessman died last weekend after being hospitalized in New York.
2 Wisconsin Republican lawmakers are pushing for there to be an additional presidential debate right here in Wisconsin.
In a letter sent to the Commission on Presidential Debates dated today, Wisconsin Senate President Roger Roth and Assembly Speaker Robin Vos said, quote, "Wisconsinites will be some of the first voters casting a ballot for the presidential election. Unfortunately, by the time the first presidential debate happens on September 29th, voters in Wisconsin will have already started voting." That letter continues to argue that those voters deserve to hear the competing visions of Joe Biden and Donald Trump in order to make a well-informed decision. Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani also requested another debate earlier this month, but that was rejected. It comes as President Trump's Wisconsin campaign continues to note that Joe Biden hasn't been to the state. In an email from the Trump campaign yesterday, it counted that Biden hasn't been to Wisconsin in 660 days.
Joe Biden's campaign is posting strong fundraising and viewership numbers after the convention. The campaign says about $70 million was raised during the 4-day DNC. Officials also say more than 122 million people watched the convention. Between the convention and a visit from both the president and vice president, the state of Wisconsin was the political capital of the country this week. Both sides are trying to win your vote, but Amy Reed separates the truth in this News 3 Now reality check.
Politicians made a lot of claims this week, so let's get right into it.
5 million Americans infected by COVID-19. More than 170,000 Americans have died. By far the worst performance of any nation on earth.
Joe Biden is misleading here. The U.S. does lead the world in number of cases and number of deaths, but compared against population, the U.S. is 12th in deaths per 100 confirmed cases and 5th in deaths per capita. But that data also makes this claim from Trump false.
But we're doing great coming back. We're coming back, and our numbers are better than almost all countries.
And?
Swine flu, though. Look at his ratings in Gallup. Check them out. They gave them really bad ratings.
That one is also false. For one, Biden didn't head up the H1N1 response. 2, Gallup actually found in May of 2009, 74% of Americans were confident the federal government could handle the outbreak. That fell to 60% in August 2009.
And getting rid of the protections that President Obama worked so hard to get passed for people who have 100 million more people who have pre-existing conditions.
This is true. In June, the Trump administration asked the Supreme Court to strike down the Affordable Care Act, which is what protects coverage for pre-existing conditions.
And we can pay for these investments by ending loopholes, unnecessary loopholes, and the president's $1.3 trillion tax giveaway to the wealthiest 1% and the biggest, most profitable corporations, some of which do not pay any tax at all.
This is true. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 actually gave $1.5 trillion to corporations in the form of tax cuts. And a report from left-leaning Institute of Taxation and Economic Policy, which analyzed Security and Exchange Commission's data, found 60 Fortune 500 companies paid no federal taxes. And Fox Business found before this year, Amazon hadn't paid federal taxes in 3 years.
He's proposing to eliminate a tax that pays for almost half the Social Security.
This is true. It's part of the executive order he signed when Congress couldn't agree on more relief.
Trump has lost 250,000 manufacturing jobs.
This is misleading. To date, the country has lost about 272,000 manufacturing jobs. But before the pandemic, the country had gained 460,000 since Trump took office. And looking at Wisconsin, this one from Trump before the pandemic is true.
We created 15,000 Wisconsin manufacturing jobs. Everybody said that would be impossible.
We've added more jobs back to this economy in 3 months than Joe Biden and Barack Obama added to our economy in 8 years.
This one is misleading for part. That job increase mostly accounts for people coming back to work after a COVID layoff, but the rest is false. This is still fewer than the 11 million jobs added over the Obama administration.
Joe Biden would raise taxes by $4 trillion.
This one is mostly true. Biden's tax plan shows an increase of almost $4 trillion, the majority targeting high earners and corporations. But this analysis found most other groups would see increases of 0.2 to 0.6%.
And his new running mate was one of only 10 senators to vote against the USMCA.
This one is true. For her reasoning and to see the sources for all of these claims, head to our website, channel3000.com. For this News 3 Now reality check, I'm Amy Reed.
And Amy will have full coverage of the RNC next week, breaking down the week's events. You can also catch live coverage all week long on our Channel 3000 Facebook page.
Wildfires raging in central and northern California have killed at least 4 people now. The flames have been fueled by a heat wave and lightning strikes. Vacaville, a city of 100,000 people between Sacramento and San Francisco, is one of the hardest hit. Those fires have forced tens of thousands of evacuations. We have heat, dry weather here. We could use a little relief from that as the southeast possibly dealing with historic storm potential. Here's Chris Reese. Chris?
Yeah, that is indeed the case, Eric. One of the things we're watching are 2 systems that may end up into the Gulf of Mexico early next week. Now, it's not the first time we've seen 2 systems in the Gulf of Mexico simultaneously, but if they are both hurricanes at the same time, it would be the first time that we see 2 of those in the Gulf of Mexico simultaneously. But the reality is, all the way from the panhandle of Florida through Louisiana, all the way down the southeastern Texas coastline, you need to be aware of the tropical impacts that are on the table as we move into early next week. That includes New Orleans, Panama City, Houston, all the way down to Victoria. Be aware of what is going on. By the way, Tropical Depression 14 is now officially Tropical Storm Marco. That's breaking weather news that has occurred within the last 30 minutes. And then there's another area of possible development that we're going to be watching as we go through the next couple of days. So the tropics have been historically active. We are still watching those historically active tropics as we move forward. Here comes the heat into the weekend. By the way, that heat has a tropical connection. Our chances to rain, they are on the smaller side. Let's talk about that tropical connection real quick. Right now, things are cooler throughout the eastern part of the country. We have big heat back towards the west. That's what's fueled those wildfires that we just shared that story on. Well, here's what would typically happen. This heat would slide on down towards the south. We'd see some cooler air working its way in from Canada. But with the 2 tropical systems moving our direction, it forces this heat back up north. It forces the cold back up north. So where we had the chance to cool down, we no longer get that. This ridge of heat flexes a little bit of muscle, and we are dealing with the heat heat wave. This is why we see 90s and that extended forecast. Temperatures are typically right around 79 for the average high at this point. We're going to be well above that, and then eventually we may cool things down. But for now, we're still dry. Showers and thunderstorms are not making it towards us here in south central Wisconsin. We've had numerous showers throughout the North Woods. That's right along a stationary front that's helped to spark those off. But as they run into this dome of high pressure that we have in place, it is inhibiting any showers or thunderstorms to form on top of us. Eventually, a cold front comes our direction. That's what's going to bring us our chance of seeing those showers or thunderstorms. It's not a lot, but a chance is a chance, and I'm saying that there's a chance. Here we are as we go down towards the night. We're cooling to 63. Tomorrow, that southerly wind stays in play. We're heating up towards 87 degrees. There will be lots of sunshine tomorrow, but you'll see your clouds as well. Tomorrow night, we're cooling back down into the 60s, and then by Sunday, there you saw it. That was our chance to see those showers and thunderstorms before things continue to dry or stay dry while warming up for us. Lake-wise, if you want to hit the lakes this weekend, all beaches are open. Lake temperatures are at about 77 degrees. Tomorrow's high, 87. Then we move into Sunday. That's the better chance for those showers and thunderstorms as temperatures top out at 86. It's 87 on Monday, 90 for Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday staying warm as well. We'll see better rain chances into next weekend as what looks to be a cold front comes our way. But the reality is when you have the tropics the way we have the tropics, you get wild swings in the forecast because tropical systems really bully the weather pattern and they have minds of their own. So it's really difficult to predict the weather in the United States, right? Especially when you have not one, but two tropical systems getting into the mix.
This is unreal. So I guess, you know, if you're able to, hit the lakes during this time.
That's probably where I'll be this weekend.
All right.
I'm cooling off. Give me a boat.
Thank you, Chris.
My pleasure.
Just heading sports. The Brewers, they were having a party before their game in Pittsburgh. The Pirates kind of spoiled that celebration. Zach explains next in sports.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Do this? Do this? Do this? Do this drunk? No way. That's crazy. Do that? Do that? Do that drunk? Dude, that would be really crazy.
We love our new home. There's so much space.
We have a guest room now.
But we have ants.
You're slouching again, Ted.
Expired. Expired. Expired.
Thanks, Aunt Bonnie.
It's a lot of house. I hope you can keep it clean.
At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save a lot of money.
Oh, Teddy, did you get my friend request?
I'll have to check.
Aunt Joni's here.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Let's summer. Let's dine out by truly dining out. Let's serve up the freshest of food with a side of fresh air. And save a little money without sacrificing the savory. Let's raise our tongs to tasty by introducing our grills to new thrills and make mouths water more than a backyard slip and slide. Let's live a little more by having another s'more. Because summer is here, and no one does summer savings like Festival Foods.
Dear Summer, how do I make the most of you? Do I kick back and relax? Or climb new mountains? I could go and get dirty, or switch into new lanes. One thing's for sure, it's gonna be great. Can't wait. Toyota.
Right now, you can get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2020 Highlander or Highlander Hybrid. Toyota.
Uneven surfaces are a major hazard to your family, friends, and employees. Don't risk another fall. Let Concrete Lifting Technologies raise up your pavement. Our minimally intrusive process uses polyurethane to level sunken concrete and provide an even surface. Plus, this process is a fraction of the cost to replacing your driveway. Concrete Lifting Technologies, Southern Wisconsin's premier concrete leveling specialists. For a free estimate, contact us today.
I like to drive. I used to think I was a pretty good driver.
But now Joe Biden's taken a sharp left turn. Buckle up for his $4 trillion tax hike. Biden's plan raises taxes on small business, reversing the recovery. He's pledged to eliminate blue-collar oil and gas jobs. And analysts estimate stocks would crash up to 25% if Biden takes the wheel, crushing your retirement.
This is just bold.
Hit the brakes on Biden. He'll wreck our economy. Club for Growth Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Craig Counsell turned the big 5-0 today, and he spent his birthday like we all would like to, in a hotel room in Pittsburgh on a Zoom call being sung to by members of the media. I promised the after party was better, or at least started off with a bang. Crew opening up a 3-game series with the Pirates, and Ben Gamble with a nice little B-Day present to his skipper in the second. The solo shot to right put Milwaukee up 1-0, but Pittsburgh is going to spoil that party. The Pirates tied it up in the bottom of the frame and then scored 3 in the fourth. Brewers fall 7-2. There are 143 Wisconsin sports legends enshrined in the state's Athletic Hall of Fame. Tonight, Brett Favre and Jordy Nelson added their names to that list and joined the exclusive club. Favre played 16 seasons in Green Bay, leading the pack to 2 Super Bowls and winning 3 straight MVPs, while Nelson caught 604 passes for over 8,500 yards and 74 touchdowns. Speaking of the Packers, the biggest story, no pun intended, out of this year's training camp might be the legs of rookie running back A.J. Dillon. Well, there's only one way to describe them. Tree trunks, you name it. His calves, thighs, quads, all big. Safe to say Dillon never misses a leg day, and the rest of the team is taking notice.
Yeah, he's a large man. You know, he walks around pretty comfortably at 250 for a back and moves really well. You know, big legs, big calves.
A.J. Dillon, he has got some massive legs, and that's something that we talked about with our staff. We have not seen a running back built like that. Not in my career that I've ever been around.
Last night, the Bucs evened their series with the Magic, and Pat Connaughton was a big reason why Milwaukee played much better than they did on Tuesday. Playoff Pat stuffed the stat sheet, 15 points, 11 boards, and 3 assists in just 24 minutes. But that wasn't the big lift for the Bucs. His energy was.
He was great on both ends. He's just that guy that brought great energy to the defensive end. We always talk about that first. You need guys to step up and play well, and Pat certainly did that today.
Hold them to 13 points in the first quarter, hold them under 100. Those are the things that we have to do, especially in playoff basketball, but that's, what Bucs basketball is. And so that's what myself and I think all the guys are most proud of.
And that's it for sports. We'll be right back.
Buy a select 2020 Volkswagen today, and you won't pay any interest for the next 6 years. Click, call, or come by your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 72 months on select 2019 and 2020 models.
The worst president in history's billion-dollar campaign is failing. Trump is behind in the polls, losing in places he should win, and barely holding on everywhere else. It's looking good, right? This isn't over. We're fighting against Donald Trump. We know he'll lie, cheat, suppress the vote, stoke racial hate and economic chaos to win. Trump is counting on you to relax, to stop fighting, to think this election is over. It's not over until his enablers are defeated. We can't take anything for granted. Register, volunteer, get your absentee ballot, vote early, stay in this fight. Your vote and your hard work make all the difference because you know the choice we face, America or Trump. The Lincoln Project is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Check out Turf Champ Grass Seed at Menards. It's great for seeding new lawns or repairing existing ones. Pick up a 3-pound bag of sunny or shade grass seed for just $6.49 each after 11% rebate. Spectrum Metals gutter systems are essential for collecting and controlling rainwater from your roof. $4.99 per 10-foot section after 11% rebate. Save on your home improvement projects at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Come in today for Rubens' annual leather event. Rubens has received generous discounts from all our fine leather suppliers. Natuzzi, American Leather, and many other manufacturers have allowed Rubens to give you up to 10% off on all leather furniture. Rubens' downtown store and west side store have many pieces that are available for immediate delivery. Remember, all interior design services are complimentary. Stop into either Rubens today for our leather event.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Buy a select 2020 Volkswagen today, and you won't pay any interest for the next 6 years. Click, call, or come by your Volkswagen dealer today and get 0% APR financing for 72 months on select 2019 and 2020 models.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, the village of Waunakee is doing something good, asking its residents to chalk sidewalks throughout the city with positive messages this week. It's part of the Village Center's annual Chalk Walk, which was canceled this year due to the pandemic. Organizers say more than 60 artists have participated, ranging from toddlers to people older than 60. Some artists have been chalking downtown businesses and doing themed drawings, while others just chalk the sidewalk outside their home. Chalk the Key ends tomorrow night.
Well, you know, we kind of need some rain, but I don't want it to wash away that artwork. So, I mean, but boy, we could really use it because it's been dry, Chris.
Yeah, it really has been. And even the rain chance that we have this weekend, if you're lucky enough, it's not going to be enough to wash away any kind of chalk there. But temperatures are warming up towards 87 tomorrow, 86 on Sunday with that best chance of rain. Then here comes the 90s.
All right, Chris, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, be well, and have a great weekend.